Good morning. This is October 6th, and you're looking at the FDR Presidential Library. A little bit foggy this morning, about 7:40 or so. Just going to do a quick walk through the small space gardening exhibit. I think I'll do a walk around. Loofah gourd, loofah bass sponge, and also edible up until like large cucumber size. Asian cuisine, they slice it, stir fry it, cook it in a wok. Here's a seedling bench, the potter's bench with the lath cover. Gives shade to the seedlings and automatically waters. And there is the row pump. The back side of the garden. Grow bags in a 4-inch bottom watering pipe. And here are the hanging garden of FDR and the feed trough daily greens bed, kind of designed to be by a kitchen door so folks can easily go out and pick greens for the dinner salad. Back of the animal head fence. I cut all the sweet corn and put it in a shock. There's a grain garden. Chipmunks have been climbing up the sorghum and eating the sorghum seed head. The quinoa is fully mature. Birdhouse gourds doing well. I've been starting to pick the birdhouse gourds, line them up. And the pyramid planter with Chinese cabbage, parsley, kale, some lettuce. The back side of the loofah wall. There's a loofah gourd there. That's going towards maturity, so we'll let that mature, turn brown, and we'll harvest it in a couple weeks, and it'll dry out over the winter and make a loofah sponge. This is the demonstration that I've done for folks to see how they can protect their crops from wildlife and also from cold temperature, cold weather. That's early Jersey Wakefield cabbage. Coming on really nice. Planted that about 4 weeks ago now, I guess. I harvested all the popcorn. Took all the popcorn out of the pots. The chipmunks managed to climb up with squirrels too and eat every single kernel off the cob. Here is the gray trunk, I call it. Also has bottom watering, so it's 2 inches of water reservoir in stones, so that the roots never dry out. And that is the single large cherry tomato plant that I trained to 2 stem. I topped it about 2 weeks ago, so still growing, just was getting too top heavy. And this is the Eleanor arch that I made this year, and that has Chinese asparagus beans on it, red and green Chinese asparagus bean, and 1 birdhouse gourd growing along the top of the lattice of the seeding bench. So just plant a seed in the flats. It's automatically watered twice a day, 6 a.m., 6 p.m. And then you just can pop out a seedling plug and walk it down to the Daily Greens feed trough. And this is designed to have 30 heads so that it would feed a family of 4 with a head of lettuce every single day in the growing season. And then once a week you just replace the lettuces that you've harvested with a seedling flat. Well, from a seedling from the flat underneath the lath bench. And there's the hanging garden. And the lima beans came out really nice this year. And fava beans. That's the #1 cover crop in the United States. Grown out, of course, all in the Midwest. And coming along the bottom rain gutter watering system, wicking up into the buckets. Eggplant peppers. We've harvested these for about 11 weeks now or so. Very heavily harvested. There's a cabbage. It's split and it's growing baby cabbage from the inside now. But you can see how large vegetables will grow in the 5-gallon buckets when they have that consistent bottom watering and the plants just take up the amount of water they want. Here is the tomato trellis, and the orange tape, surveyor's tape, marks just one of the stems. You can see how long. So when the stem gets up to the top, I lower the plant and then lead it either to the left or the right, and then the stems just all fall down near the ground. And here's the veggie hut. We had purple beans, yellow beans in there, sun gold cherry tomatoes, and Martin birdhouse gourds, of course. There's the Martin birdhouse made. That was the 1 gourd that we grew last year, and then it dries out all on its own in the winter inside. And then just drill a hole in it for the bird to enter. And the only thing left inside the gourd is the seeds. It's completely dried out. And then that birdhouse gourd continued over towards the feng shui wall, where there are shishito peppers, Japanese shishito peppers. And then 2 sunflowers came up to replace the other 2 centuries by the entrance. These are scarlet runner beans. They're grown for dry beans. Beautiful scarlet color inside. This is the demonstration tomato, 2 stem, and there's the beginning of the tomato. And it's trained to 2 stems. The straw bales with peanuts and red okra. And here's the wall of veggies, of herbs. And at the bottom are 2 rows of golden beets. So it just gets watered from the top, and then the plywood shelves just act as baffles to create the 5 layers. And then the water just percolates from the top down. A container exhibit hall. All the things that are grown in containers. And the grain garden. Quinoa on the far left, sorghum. Oats to the bottom right. Compost, African keyhole compost garden in the middle. And then the sweet corn was a little rabbit, a resident rabbit, a little bunny. Doesn't seem to have done too much damage in the garden. Sweet corn that I planted for a fall crop. Red amaranth, Chinese golden amaranth. And harvested sweet corn. And there's the spring pea trellis. Got some peas coming up for the fall. And still a lot of Long Island cheese pumpkins are growing as an understory to the sweet corn. Here's Cardboard Alley. So I had cilantro started in a cardboard box. Broccoli. The first thing is broccoli, cilantro, spinach. And there's half of a fruit juice container, 55-gallon drum, cut in half, and that had tomatoes and beans in it. Again, self-contained systems. And then we enter back into the main garden. Here's the big cardboard box garden, filled 2/3 with wood chips. Which hold the moisture really well and not as heavy as filling it all with topsoil. And in there are eggplants, peppers, summer squash. There was Indian popcorn in there, sunflowers. There's fall green peas growing in there. I had beans earlier this spring. Here's the Three Sisters garden with beans, summer squash, and corn. That was also a popcorn that was growing in there. There's the rubber roll roofing mulched bed that has broccoli, some Chinese cabbage, and regular cabbage in it. There is the Purple Pool 100-gallon grow bag with Tabasco hot peppers starting to mature. And then back into the central hall. The trellis tomatoes, veggie hut, entrance arch, back of the herb wall, and then into the container hall. So these are recycled bins, cardboard boxes, 5-gallon pails, again that have a 2-inch water reservoir in the bottom of the pail, shopping bags, take a little time for the camera to scroll down, shopping bags, some more grow bags. And this was one Martin birdhouse gourd plant that covered all of the container exhibit hall here. And then all along the side was a crib for tomatillas. So that was all tomatillas there, still growing strong. First cousin of a tomato, and they used tomatillas. There's all the tomatillas there. They used tomatillas for green salsa salsa verde. And I'll do a final pan of the FDR Small Space Gardening Exhibit 2020.